Don't let the loss of jobs stop the world from being cured. The lost jobs become the unfortunate but needed sacrifice. When evil medical corporations build themselves off treatment and not the cure, that's a faulty foundation. Let them fall no matter how many jobs it costs. We have Alzheimer's disease today, and this one may just start a riot. I'm so serious. Charmace Santier. This is the Lottoriddles Institute of Health Research. So I've done dementia before, but I knew I would have to revisit it to do the different types. And Alzheimer's is probably the biggest one. It's the one that affects the most people. So we can go ahead and knock this out of the way. As I've stated before, this is all theory. And hopefully we can get to your loved ones in time to save their lives. I did do a general dementia video earlier, so if you want to be as informed as you can be, the more the better. It's still available for you to listen to. So let's get started. They are going to have to rewrite the medical books. I see a blood infection. It's a blood infection due to blood poisoning. What happens with dementia patients is somewhere in their life they are exposed to something toxic. It's toxic exposure. So somehow, maybe, let's say rat poison, arsenic, asbestos, we can go on and on. There's some kind of toxin that's entering their system. And what it does, it enters the blood, and these toxins cause infections that spread everywhere. Of course, even through the blood vessels, it spreads all over the body and it destroys it. Toxic exposure, there's a form of toxin inside of them that they were infected by, and it poisons the blood. The blood poisoning leads to infection. This is an infection. Let's point directly at the problem. It's an infection, and it targets many organs like the lungs and liver, but especially the brain. We have a brain infection. That's what Alzheimer's is. Got me? So now that we know the truth of it, we can cure it. Did you get cut by something metal? Did you breathe in something toxic? There's many ways to get these toxins into the bloodstream. All right. They have created a world full of toxic things. The world around us is just full of toxins. So anywhere you go, you're likely to contaminate yourself. And they can just say, well, it's a you problem. You accidentally did that. You somehow cut yours. Well, that's the world they created around us. So they're betting on you infecting yourselves in a way you don't even know how. That's what goes on. So what happens with this? We got another test scam. What tends to happen is that the toxins do not show up on the tox screens. These infections don't show up on the tests. So the doctors are going to be like, well, we don't see anything. You see how they've been getting away with this for such a long time. It doesn't show up on the tests, yet the person is infected and it's destroying them. Listen to this. Mold and drugs are two of the biggest ways to get toxic exposure. So much mold is around so many people. Did you know it can lead to Alzheimer's? Yes, it can. Drugs, a lot of these drugs are put out in the streets by you know who, and they're laced with toxic substances. So even if you get rid of the drugs in your systems, the toxic substances can remain and lead to Alzheimer's. You need to know that. You can check for staph infections that can lead to Alzheimer's. Okay, so let's cure this thing. We love the cure, right? To all medical professional, listen to this cure and see if you can tell what the misdiagnosis is. Okay, so first, you want to put them on a broad spectrum of antibiotics. All right? A broad spectrum because we don't know what, toxin or bacteria is inside their blood. So a broad spectrum can cover that. And this can be like a 2-week treatment, all right? Give or take, judgment call. I like to go 2 weeks. Second, you want to keep them hydrated. So you want them on IV fluids. You want them hydrated. Any vital medicine or nutrition they may need. You want to correct their electrolyte imbalance. You need all of that good stuff with the IV fluids. Lastly, you want the vasopressor medicines. You want to keep their blood pressure in check, so that should be good. A lot of times you have to raise it, so you want to take care of that. Steroids is possible. That's a judgment call. It's not always needed, but you can suppress the immune system if it's attacking the body too much, because that can be life-threatening. So that's an optional case. What does that sound like? What does this treatment sound like? In my opinion, and again, this is all theory, in my opinion, Alzheimer's is a misdiagnosis of sepsis. The patient is septic. That's my call. Sepsis, septicemia, those dirty corporate devils. So treat the patient for sepsis and they should be fine if you get them in time. All right, I have an idea. So listen to this. See what you think about this idea. How we can prevent this in the future. Since the corporations are banking on you to be infected by this toxic environment, this toxic world they've created. And again, they play the long game. Their tactic is to infect you a decade earlier. So by the time you get sick, a decade or 2 decades or 3, infect you earlier so that by the time you get sick, it's going to be hard for you to blame them in court. Some people been eating the high fructose corn syrup for 3 decades. They finna come down with diabetes. You see what I'm saying? They're banking. Somebody has been infected right now and they're on a slow decline. They just don't know it yet. So here's my idea. How about every time you get a checkup, they put you on 2 weeks of a broad spectrum of antibiotics? Because what that'll do is, if anything's wrong with you that they don't see on the tests or the tox screens, because they aren't working apparently, anything you don't see, anything that goes undetected, the antibiotics will kill it. That way you can make sure there's a better chance you're making sure that your body stays healthy and you don't have to worry about anything sneaking up on you. Because that's a cure that prevents things. I think that's a better idea than vaccines, right? I mean, it's what they do with vaccines, and they break their necks trying to get vaccines in you Why not do antibiotics that have proven or will prove to cure a lot of diseases? During your checkups, get a broad spectrum of antibiotics that'll kill darn near anything that can have you sick in the future. That's my idea. Because I'm not a fan of vaccines, and I know a lot of people aren't. And so they get gaslit if they don't have a better solution at hand. Well, I think this is a better solution. Now, we can tweak that idea, but I bet you it's effective. I bet you it's effective. I'll leave it at that, just to give you something to think on. I hope to hear about a lot of patients getting healed from this in the near future. The forums and the social media comments, ooh, they're depressing, they're sad. Rightfully so. We can take care of this problem quickly. Lear liar, come back and see me.